Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, breaker of the seven seals, messenger of the covenant. Let's bring in our audio audience. This is, there's a little, turn a little differently here. Okay, hold on to brothers and sisters. 1 second. Solve this. Okay, let's check it again. Welcome. This is the Black Alert section, Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Welcome. Okay, brothers and sisters. Our topic today is separate. Separate. We have a long history here. Over 400 years, nearly 500 years. Nearly 500 years. A period of acute energy deprivation. So we begin to emerge a little over 100 years ago, around the 1860s, and therein lies the issue. So hold on here, bro. Let's just see about this. Therein lies the issue. Separate. That's the problem, because that's where that problem occurred. That's where it became very dramatic, very acute, because at that point we were allowed to make decisions, the so-called Civil War, Emancipation Proclamation, so forth, so on. I mean, let's be real. They didn't free us because they loved us. They freed us because they longer they need us. See, no need for us. So they freed us. See, they were moving from the agricultural age to the industrial age. During the agricultural age, we were the first robots. We were the first robots, Negro butts, programmed to do work, do whatever master told you to do, nothing else, not to think, right? Not to feel, just to work. Negro butts. We were the first robots ever. See? And that went on for over, it's what's going on now. It started approximately 400 years ago, and it's still going on now. Most of our people are still Negro butts, still programmed. And they need there's a dramatic need for deprogramming, which will happen shortly, because we're about to short circuit their programming. Negro butts was the first robots. Negro butts came off the assembly line for 1619, fully programmed, ready for service, stamped and certified. Amos Richardson, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, see? Fully programmed. And those names were brands. They were not names as you brand your cattle. See, if you was Amos Richardson and you were sold to Master Jackson, then you became Amos Jackson. There was a significant sign of ownership. And now many of you prove you're still Negro butts because you still walk around those names. So you're still saying to the world, you're still a Negro butt. That's what you're telling the world, I'm a Negro butt. That's what you're telling. I mean, I shouldn't laugh. That's the state our people are in. But you're still telling the world, you're a Negro butt. See? You see? I mean, what's the dog name? Skippy. See? I'm Skippy. That's the dog's name. See? So you need to understand that, brothers and sisters. So we're going to have to deprogram you. Many of you, it's too late. So we're going to talk about separation. See? Because as 1860s, when they no longer needed us, they freed us and threw us into a ditch. They didn't give any severance pay. They didn't give any land. They didn't give any food. They didn't give any money. You didn't have any education. You didn't have any resources, right? You had no place to stay. And they had laws. If you was a vagrant, they could put you on a chain gang. And many of you end up on a chain gang because you had no place to go. You're running the roads, you know, and then you're stealing because you had no food to feed your family. So then now you're a thief. See, they criminalized us. See, you can criminalize the people easily. If you take a person and you strip them of everything, all their needs, unless they're going to commit suicide, and then that's a crime too, right? Unless they commit suicide, then what's going to happen? They're going to have to try to survive. And therefore, they're a criminal. Because most of our brothers and sisters in the prison, right, except for the demons, they was criminalized. They put in a position where they had to survive, and they had to do what necessary, and then the act of survival, right, was criminalized. If you're hungry, you can't feed your family, and there's no work, right? You got to go and take food from someplace. Okay, now you're a criminal. Now you're a thief. That's not you're a thief by nature. You're not a thief by nature. You're a thief by design. You're a thief by design. You know, if you take Prophet Muhammad, the history of Prophet Muhammad, they had a famine in the land, right? Now they have a rule over there that if you steal, they cut your hand off. If you steal, they cut your hand off. Let me say it again. If you steal, they cut your hand off. But during the time of the famine, he abrogated that rule. He got rid of it during the time of the famine. Because no people are going to steal to eat. They're not thieves. They're trying to survive. They have to take care of their families. And if he had kept that rule going when the famine was over, no one would have had any hands. See? Because you know, his people weren't thieves. Yeah, but they was trying to survive. But see, in America, no, they criminalize it. Because they put you in a position where you had nothing. They knew that you had nothing. They made sure you had nothing, right? And so therefore, when you made an act of survival, that was criminal. And then that was an excuse to put you back in chains because your freedom was conditional anyway. It says you was only free as long as you obeyed the law. But they know you wasn't going to be able to obey the law because they put you in a situation where it was impossible to obey the law unless you just want to commit suicide. And then that was a crime too. Brother, understand these things. They don't talk about these things. See, even the CRT, critical race theory, that was no theory. But they lied to you about everything. And a lot of you are willing to accept their lies, just wholesale, because that's what a Negro butt does. That's what a Negro butt does. Hold on, brothers and sisters. That's what a Negro butt does. See? But you're about to be deprogrammed. Your programming is about to be short-circuited. You got a God on the scene that's looking out for you. We're going to deprogram you. Anyway, we're going to talk about this because we got a history, like I said. Now we had, in the 80s, we were positioned where we had, we didn't make a choice, but there was no choices to be made. See, it's like I said, okay, you're free to choose. You see, you're free to choose between hanging or electrocution. That was the choice we had. You're free to choose. Now you're free. See, to have choices, you have to have, true, real choices, meaningful choice. A choice. But you didn't have any. You really, in fact, you had no choices. They told you it was free, and you had choice. You had none. See. But the extent that you did, there was this conflict. See, this so-called fork in the road, because there was two people that were black. You had the chaff and the wheat. The story tells you in the scripture there was somebody sowed their seed amongst the wheat, and so chaff looked like the wheat, but it wasn't, and it would be separated at the end. Elijah was told, no, you don't separate them. You teach to both of them, right? We'll separate them. Suleiman will separate them at the end, in the harvest time. See. So we had that situation. So we had two different minds. One mind was towards the master because his children, that was his children. That was his seed, the chaff. So they had a heart towards him. And we had a heart towards our fathers that was ripped away from 40 years ago. See? So we want to go back home, and they want to stay here with Massa, because this is their home. Well, to the extent, right, that you disregard the two owners of this country. So that was a two situation, and you see that in the book of Mark, right, where it talks about this demon. It's talking about this chief demon, Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, the NOI backwards, that's Farrakhan. See, he says, we're many. Now they're trying to tell you, well, that demons are a character, a defect. No. There were people that Jesus was talking to that didn't want to lead a country. That's not a character defect. See, that's a real individuals. See, but you had a dichotomy right there, a dichotomy, because you had the demons wanted to stay here. They begged Jesus, oh, well, I want to stay here. I want to stay with my swine daddies. And the other ones, that once they was separated from the demons, they wanted to go home. You see it right there in the scripture. You had two different views. One wanted to stay here, and one wanted to go home. Legion pleaded, please don't make me lead a country. See, my name is Legion, and we are many, many demons. Please don't make us lead a country. We want to go over stay with our swine daddies. See? And the other ones, they wanted to leave with Jesus. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Once they was freed of the demons, freed of Farrakhan and his crowd and all other demons. So we're going to talk about that. That we're going to talk about that because that is very fundamental to what's going on right now. See? So the idea of getting out of here and the idea of staying here. And that idea didn't come into focus until 1860s, right? When we so-called free and supposed to had a choice. See? So it took root then. And we're going to follow the progress of it, right, up until now. So let's move into it. Now here you see, this is the most, this was during Elijah's time. We're going to step through this chronologically, but I just want to show this picture here. See? Because this demonstrates a certain point I'm trying to make. See? Because you have forces that wants us to stay here. And so they had to be forced to allow us to go. Because the whole story about Pharaoh, He had to be forced to let us leave. Now, why wouldn't they want us to leave? They hate us so much, right? Such a problem. So why would they not want us to leave? That's the hidden secret. Because our creativity that they hide from you, don't let you to know about. See, because you don't ask any questions. You're a Negro, but the answer to the question answers itself before you even ask it. You have to ask the question answers itself. Because you have to look around and say, wait a minute, America's the only innovative country on the planet. All the inventions, cars, electricity, planes, all that stuff came out of here. Computers, the whole 9 yards, all of it. But yet still they claim they're superior race. But you got Germany, they smart people, right? France, so forth. That didn't come out of there. And they're all Europeans. So why is it coming out of here? And why didn't it start coming out here until we came here? Because for 6,000 years, for 5,500 years, they was horse and buggy people. There was no innovation. There's no machines, not even an idea of it. See? And then suddenly, they bring us over here, and then everything explodes. Technology, all of it's coming from here. See? Why is that? So if you had the goose that laid the golden egg, you wouldn't want the loose goose to go either. Even you might not like the goose, you might hate gooses, but you like that golden egg, so you're going to keep that goose around. See? Because if you let him go, somebody else is going to get that golden egg. So you rather kill him than let him go. Think about that. Kill him than let him go. See? They understand what's going on. See? Because they want to hold on to us, but if they can't, they kill us. Because they don't want to let you go. They had to be forced to let you go. Read the whole story. So what happened? See? Martin Luther King was saying, stay here, stay here. That's the demon, bro. That's the demon ideology, the demon philosophy. See? Stay here, stay here, stay here with Master. And then he ran to Elijah Muhammad, who was saying, get the hell out of here. And that's what he taught. Be not deceived. Be not deceived. He said, we'd be fools to want to stay here in the land of our imprisonment. He said, our ancestors would denounce us in their judgment for being such fools to want to stay here. So don't listen to that damn lying, dumbass Farrakhan when he says, we staying here, we ain't going anywhere, because that wasn't Elijah Muhammad's teaching. That was not Master Muhammad's teaching. You can easily go check it. I take my word for it. Go look it up. Go check it. Go check it for yourself. We don't ask you to accept anything, assume anything here. And we sure as hell not trying to convince you. See? So we got the tapes. I'm not talking about transcripts. We got the tape Elijah Muhammad saying those words. But Farrakhan said, no, we ain't going anywhere. So he's not representing Elijah Muhammad, because that was the central message of Elijah Muhammad, that we leave here, go. I was there. It's not secondhand. I was with Elijah from 70 to 75 till he departed. And that was a central message. That was the whole purpose of Master Muhammad coming here. Says we would not return to our thorough knowledge of self. He didn't say, we might return one day. He said, no. We had to have thorough knowledge of self, and we was going to return. The Abrahamic covenant. That's what he came to represent, the Abrahamic covenant, that most of you don't know anything about because they stopped talking about it. And with the assassination of Martin Luther King, that was the end of that talk of the Abrahamic covenant, because that was his speech, that promised land. That's the Abrahamic covenant that most of you know nothing about. It's in the so-called Old Testament and the so-called New Testament, right? And it goes something like, for 40 years we've been born into a strange land that we sojourn, mean temporary, sojourn, temporary, for 40 years. Don't mean you stay here forever. And we'll be afflicted and tormented by these beasts for 40 years. See? And then after 40 years, 1619, that's the official date, right? To 2019, and then the plagues will start that will cause that will prepare the way for us to go home. And the first plague would be a plague that would kill the firstborn, which is the same thing as the elderly, and pass over us. That happened exactly on time. 2020, that plague came in on time, rolled right in on time, as killing them, and it's not killing us. Because they try to say, oh, y'all dropping like flies, it's killing y'all. That was a lie. And the World Health Organization, WHO, Google it, don't take my word, a few months ago, they came out with a paper and says they don't understand why Black Africa has not been affected by this plague. Haiti wasn't affected by it. But yet we drop them like flies. See, it was a lie. The demons might be. Understand what a demon is? That's the house Negroes, slave masters' children, black-faced children. That's who the demons are in America. In China, you got yellow-faced demons. In India, you got brown-faced demons because they spread their seed all over the planet. See? So they're demons. See? So demons, right, they may be dropping like flies, but not us. Hope you understand. So I want you to see this because he get that speech, Promised Land speech. Go check it out. That's what he's talking about, the promise. They said, we're going to go home. He said, we ain't going to stay here after he met Elijah Muhammad. And then they blew his brains out the next day. You don't hear about that anymore. There's Elijah. Talking about going home. See? Going home. Promised land. I'm going to balance this for a minute here. I want to do a little cleanup. You get the wrong idea. And we sure don't want you to get the wrong idea. Okay? Let's move on. Okay, here. Let's go here. Okay, I'm just going to pick up a couple of iconic figures, right? See, there was other people, but these people most well known, right? Okay, this is Frederick Douglass. Now, I say here is the dichotomy, right? See, dichotomy means go two ways too. So, the question was, after so-called Emancipation Proclamation, was a cruel joke, like I said. They didn't give you separation pay. They didn't give you a house, a land. They didn't give you 40 acres and a mule. They gave you nothing. They threw you in the ditch. You got fired. You didn't get freed. They didn't need you anymore. So they threw you into the garbage can. You had nothing. See? You're starving and everything else. Beaten, for being vagrants. You couldn't sleep anywhere. Where are you going to sleep? You was thrown off the plantation. You was on the road. You had no food, no money, no clothes, nothing. So where was you going to sleep? You had a family. Where was you going to eat? Where you going to go? You didn't know north and south. You didn't know where to go. See, I don't tell you that part in the movies. They keep that part really quiet. See, because nobody asked a question about it. I said, well, what happened? If they let you go, you weren't on the plantation anymore. So you wouldn't master, so master wouldn't get no shitlings anymore. Because that's exactly what it was called, shitlings. That's what they are. You wasn't that shack because master said you ain't working enough for me. You ain't get off my plantation. So what was you gonna do? You had no money. You had no clothes. No food. No place to stay. What was you gonna do? And you might walk the roads, but you've been out stepping on somebody's plantation because you're on their land. Now you invaded, you're a trespasser. So now you're on the road walking, and you don't know which way you even walk. You don't know north from south, you don't know anything. See, no talk about that period. So I had the blues, what we going to do? You had no idea. You know where the next meals come from, anything. So here's one icons of that period, see? And so you had two perspectives, right? stay on the farm and beg master the sharecrop. See, that's where sharecropping came from. Because when you were sharecropping, you was doing exactly the same thing you was doing when you was in chains. Only difference is, right now they're giving you money to pay for all the stuff that the master was giving you, and you was in the same boat you was before. It's just a trick, right? But the demons wanted to stay with master. Now some of us wanted to stay with master too because we had no place to go. Said, please, can we come back and work with you? Because what would you want to do? So some of us were sharecroppers, right? Willingly, because we wanted to stay with master. And some of us were under duress, had no choice. Please, can I come back and work for you? I mean, what I want to do, I got family, I ain't got no food, I got nothing, I don't know where to go. See? So you had those two. But the idea was they didn't want to stay there. They was doing under duress. They said, all right, what else I'm going to do? I got family to take care of. But the other ones, they willingly, see? Because they wanted to be close to master. See, they was master's children. You see? So they want to stay close to master. And they want to take advantage of those that will stay, of us that stay here under duress. Because master, you can live off of me, but you can live off of them. And that's where that started. See, because they come in calling it preachers and all this stuff, right? So that's how they made their living off of you. Because here you are, you sharecropping, right? And so they telling you, hey man, come on, believe in Jesus, come to church. That's how they made their living. See? But what the bottom I will focus on here is the dichotomy of thought. One wanted to get out of there, but they would stay under duress. But their heart was to get the hell out of there. See? And they was planning whatever they could do to get the hell out of there, get to the sick anywhere. And the other ones, they wanted to stay there with master. They wanted to, because they are master. They are master's children. See? It's their followers that enslaved us. And pretty, you understand? You make no mistake, these demons are the same people. They might look like you, but they're the same people that enslave you. They torment you, they rape you. They just look at a black face. They're uncircumcised. That's what circumcision means. Spiritual circumcision means you got rid of that black skin. If you wanted to be successful during a time of energy deprivation, that made you successful because that means you require less energy so you could rule. So you're circumcised. See? Anyway, Frederick Douglass. See? You can read this at your own leisure, but he wants to stay here. Stay with master. Work with master. See? Top demon. See? So you have those two perspectives. One, get the hell out, and one to stay. See? And we have a change every 50 years. I'm not going into that kind of detail here, but every 50 years, right, we energize a change comes. So this is the 1860s. See, so that was a situation back there. That was a choice we made. Get away from master or stay on the plantation. Sharecroppers or whatever, or run to the cities or Canada, any place, just get the hell away from them. We had too many choices. We could run north, and we could figure out where north was. And we run to Canada, we could figure out what Canada was, which wasn't that much better. And then, the next stage, 20s, here you got Du Bois, another demon. See, Frederick Douglass, a demon. Du Bois, another demon, right? He's advocating Eurocentric. See, we need to work with white men. Need to be more like the white man. See, civil rights. Why we got to ask these people for civil rights? Aren't you a man? Aren't you a woman? Why you got to ask these people for something like that? If you have to ask them for it, that means they have control of it. So you're like a puppy dog. Because if they can give it to you, they can take it away. Don't you understand that? If they can make laws to give it to you, they can make laws to take it away. That means they're in control. You're still a slave. You're still in the plantation. Oh, let's get civil rights. Let's make a law to get civil rights. Well, how come they can't? Why can't they change that law? Why can't they go back to put you back on a plantation? Why can't they go back and put you back in chains? They make the laws. So if they have fallen hard times, what do you think is going to happen? If they have this war, they're going to have a war soon. And you're a nation within a nation. Who do you think they're going to protect? If they get hungry and the food falls short, who you think gonna get the food? You think they're gonna give you the food and let their people starve? Did you really think that? They're telling you food shortage is coming. They're telling you that they're gonna have major food shortage. That means it's gonna be worse. If the politicians tell you that, it means it's gonna be a lot worse than that, because they can't ever tell you the truth. So if they say it's bad, that means it's worse. It's usually 10 times worse than what they're saying it is. Those old movies you say, don't tell the public, they might panic. See? So they tell you see, in the Midwest, all this famine, all this drought, then America's getting all this topsoil from Russia. Think about that. And Farrakhan telling you, stay here. Stay here. They're telling you, their topsoil, they can't grow anything anymore. They're getting all their topsoil from Africa and Russia. They're telling you that. What do you think to wake your ass up? They can't grow anything. If they would, then why are they dependent upon topsoil from Russia? That's what fertilizer and stuff is. And you want to stay here? That's what Farrakhan's telling you. So he's advocating. See, now we went to the next stage, right? So now we broke our chains, and so now the decision was to stay on the farm or get the hell out, away from the farm, because we didn't have no choice to go back to Africa. I mean, that choice came up in the 20s with Du Bois. But thing is, then you went to that stage. Now you get into the mental stage. See, first you're in the physical stage, then you went to the mental stage, right? Eurocentric or Afrocentric. So you had people like Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, Master Muhammad advocating separate, Afrocentric, thinking Afrocentric. But these guys talking about thinking Eurocentric, be more like white people. Integrate, stick with white people. See, blend in with them. See, so you see this movement. So in other words, you got the demon philosophy. This is demon. And you got the original philosophy. So again, when the choice came, the original philosophy is to get the hell out of there. The demon philosophers stay because they master's children. They want to stay with master. Then here on the 20s, you got the same thing again. Stay here, work with master, because he's laid the foundation for the so-called civil rights movement, begging them for civil rights. See? And we think about it, that's stupid. Now he thought he was smart. They making the damn laws. So why can't they change the law? They make a law and then change it tomorrow and say, no, we put your ass back in. The Bible tells you, right? Their laws, right? It's like a building a brick house without mortar. See, the mortar is what keep the bricks together, right? Holding together. But if you don't have no mortar, the wind comes, it looks strong, it looks pervasive, right? It looks impregnable. Oh man, it's a brick house, man, right? But it has no mortar between the bricks. That means you can easily push it over. Though it looks strong, but it has no, and that's what their laws have, no mortar. They look strong, but they don't mean anything. They change them at the drop of a hat. They can make laws that put your ass right back in chains overnight. Overnight. And they're going to do something like that too. And you still listen to these fools that tell you, oh, listen, these people got a 400-year history of lie. If the truth came out their mouth, their head would explode. See, their whole face, like antibodies that attacks everything that's not you, right, in your body. See, so they told the truth. The antibodies would just attack their mouth and just destroy it, because where did that come from? See, that's what, if you got some kind of germ or something, right, and it's like a virus or something, antibodies say, oh, that's a virus, man, it's alien to the body, so it attacks it. That's how it recognizes it, because it's different, something different that doesn't belong in the body, it's different in the body. So they tell the truth, and the antibodies, all of a sudden you see their tongue and mouth, face just evaporate, just being eaten up. Antibodies, what the hell is that? That don't fit here, truth. The whole face just rotting in place. Just look at them. They told the truth. They can't tell the truth. They haven't told the truth about anything in 400 years. They haven't told the truth about nothing. They lied to you, and they keep the lies. Remember saying about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or whatever her name, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whatever, the Supreme Court woman that died not too long ago, the Jewish one. She was saying all kinds of negative things about black people, but they didn't report it. Then somebody found out about it. Why? Oh, we didn't want people to know how she really felt about black people. See? Because they say stuff in secret. They keep it in secret. They don't tell you to your face. Now, black folks loving this woman, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Everybody loving her. Found out she didn't give a damn about you. Thought you was stupid. See? And they hid it. And then it came out. So, well, we just didn't want the public to know how she really was. Really? I know how they are. I'm telling you. See? What do you think they held children a secret? She was like, oh, they look at the picture and say, oh, Adam and Eve, look at this child. Oh, they tell them Adam and Eve was white, right? Well, where did black people come from? That's the first question the child want to ask. Now, you can't tell them niggers now, but they came from Noah because Noah was white and Noah's son was bad, Seth, Shem, right? And so his children was cursed black, right? And doomed to be slaves forever. That's what they tell them. That's what they told them for the last 40 years. They still tell them that now. But don't tell them that. See, because that's not nowadays we don't talk like that anymore. They call you a racist. You think they don't tell their children that? Because children want to know how they became black. The children want to know how the hell black people came from. And what do you think they're going to tell them? They'll tell them they came from black people? Use your head, brothers and sisters. See? And you be telling your children the same damn thing. See? Where do white people come from? Oh, well, they came from Jesus. They came from Jesus. Your kid asks, where white folks came from, Daddy? They came from Jesus. Well, where we come from? See? So this is the 20s now, right? We got the 1800s. Frederick Douglass. Now we got Du Bois, right? Still, he's egocentric. Still staying with white folks. I mean, if Fred Douglass, stay on the farm. See? Du Bois. Now I'm paraphrasing. I'm not saying their philosophy is a little more complicated, but I'm just saying in general. And this guy, I thought, well, no, Eurocentric. Think like white folks. Because he thinks like white folks. So that makes sense to him. And then you got the 60s, 50 years later. Now everybody familiar with him. See, he want to get closer to white folks too. Integration. See, integration. You see? That's what happened to him. But integration. Because as soon as he starts thinking anything other than integration, they sound like he might. Boom, he's dead. Integration. These are the demons. That's their focus. That's their agenda. Because they want to stay with Master. So we got 3 stages. See? As we lifting up, we got the demons at every stage trying to get us closer and closer to Master. See? So now we're at the last stage, 50 years later from that, it was now. See? So what is going to look like now? See, we saw what it looked like in the 60s, we saw what it looked like in the 20s, we saw like in the 1860s, every 50 years, right? So now it's 50 years from the 20s. It's 50 years from the 60s. See, it would be 100 years from the 20s, every 50 years, right? We get a burst of energy that, because we were some energy deprivation. Now we're not suffering anymore, self-imposed energy deprivation, but now we're moving up, right? So now we got, and so demons, that's the dichotomy. That's the dichotomy. We want to go one way and we want to go another way. We want to go back home. That's what it says in Malachi, right? The hearts of the children turn to their fathers. See? So Elijah Muhammad, that's what he's trying to do, change the hearts back to our fathers, because they turned our hearts back to them. Man's Negro butts, and man's love them, and hearts towards them. That's what I said in Daniel, heart had to be replaced. See? Had to be reprogrammed. So here we are. See? Now these people, all these people, they ain't talking about separate, they talking about staying, getting closer and closer to Master. So now he wants to integrate. See, they're their agenda is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. First, stay on the plantation, you still be a slave, but stay on the plantation. Then, start thinking like master. See, now just become master. Sleep with the children, sleep next door, be right with them. See, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But see, our voice is being snuffed out because people want to separate, get the hell away from them. They don't let them, don't get them a voice. The only one they ever gave a voice, they gave a voice to the Malcolm X, and they realized that was a mistake. They'll never do that one again. And so now, this is the one on the scene now. Chief Demon, stay here. We ain't going nowhere. Please don't make us lead a country. That's Mark. That's the chief demon. He begged Jesus, please don't make us lead a country. Why you want to stay here? Jesus getting the hell out of here. And the demon possessed man, he wants to go with Jesus. See, he had a dichotomy there because one wanted to submit, read the book of Mark about the demons. See, the demon possessed man, he ran to Suleiman to be with him. He ran. And then, but Legion, Farragut, no, he put the kibosh on. No, man, what you doing here? Why you messing with us? Why you messing with my thing here? We're Legion, we're many. Why you messing with my thing here? You messing with my thing here, man. See? And then when Solomon got a hold of his ass, then he backed, oh, please. Then he started begging, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't make me leave here. I want to stay here with Master. Let me stay here with Master Swine. See, he's a cow. He's no good. He's a punk. He's a deceiver. He's a pimp. He's a demon. It follows the devil. Google it. Google his bio. Percival Clark. That's Father's name. And most times they have a picture. If you go Google it, you have a picture of his father's devil. That's why he's disemboweled. His balls ripped off because he don't need them. Because he's a coward. See? He's a demon. That should be enough right there. What do they say? Say less. That should be enough right there. He's a demon. His father's a devil. Say less. See? So, he's the chief one now. See? Him and the rest of these, the ones that with him. See, you might think they're with him. They with him. Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all these clowns. They're all demons. Want to stay here. And he's the focus. Hey, man, we ain't going nowhere. Because he's trying to put he's the last barrier between us getting out of here. See, it's time to separate. Remember every step. See? So, the first step, we chose to get the hell off the plantation, except for those that didn't have no choice. They said, okay, I'll stay in a sharecrop because they ain't nothing else to do. They didn't know where else to go. They didn't know where to go. They had no food. They had a family. They didn't want to, but they did it. But there were those that did it, willingly. Those are demons. So baseline here, those that fled got the hell off the plantation. At least off the physical off the change fan, because America's one big plantation. We still here in America. We still have our own land. We still under their control. We're a captive nation. So that one. Then the second stage, start thinking like master, Eurocentric or Afrocentric. Now we should think Eurocentric, where the people start wearing processors and stuff. Their hair look like white people. See, Farrakhan don't need a processor because their hair is naturally like that. See, they said the son of man's hair would be nappy. Is his hair nappy? But they come out, he's the son of man. He's anointed. His hair nappy? Is it woolly? This stuff is easy, brothers and sisters. See, it's easy. Like this thing about Jerusalem. It said when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, let me say it again. When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know its destruction is near. Now, who is Jerusalem? Whose capital is Jerusalem? Who controls Jerusalem? Right? Is it the Arabs or is it Jews? False Israel. So it says, remember they took our identity, they claimed they're us. So when they returned the whole prophecy, they claimed that refers to them. It says once they established, once they return home and established, they cannot ever be uprooted again. See? But it's just telling you, the verse telling you they are going to be uprooted. So that means they're not the real deal. They're not the real McCoy. See, they're liars. Identity theft. Because when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, who owns Jerusalem? Who controls Jerusalem? Who is Jerusalem's capital? Who? That means they're about to be destroyed. It's true, right there, that verse right there tells you they're liars. See, all this stuff is simple, brothers and sisters. It's not complicated, right? But like Elijah Muhammad said, the truth was being made so clear that even a fool would not err. And if you err then you worse than a fool. So here it is. And that's where we are right now. See, we ain't going nowhere. He wants to stay here with Massa. Swine daddies. Please don't make us leave the country. Read Mark. See, that's where we are. See. So now it's time to separate, to finally make the final break. See, because remember, at first it was either stay with Massa on a plantation, sharecroppers, or flee to the cities. That was the best choice we had. The next one is, think Eurocentric or Afrocentric. So some chose to take Afrocentric. The original people chose to think Afrocentric. Some of them left. They went to Liberia. They got the hell out of here. Some actually physically left, right? And then the next stage is integration. Move in with them. And those said, hell, separation. Elijah Muhammad, he was the one spearheading. Separate. No, we separate. See? Keep segregation. We're happy with segregation. We don't want no part of you, right? We can build our own thing. We don't need to go to their movies. We don't need to go to their stores. We can build our own. So he was building his own thing so he could separate, say segregated, right? We didn't have no problem with segregation. Segregation is only really bad if you're gonna sit around there and be the footstool of the other people that's causing segregation. You got segregate means you got two groups of people, but one crow another, then that means segregation is the problem. But if you got your own thing, the segregation is good. I mean, China's segregated from America, ain't it? Ain't it? They ain't trying to integrate with America. So there's nothing wrong with segregation. Only problem with segregation is one party is controlling the other. So like Muhammad said, we don't need to be a part of it. We can control our own selves. We build our own farms, build our own business and everything else. See? But Martin Luther King said, no, we're going to integrate. See? So you had one still on the farm, one get the hell out of there on the plantation, one get the hell out, well, I say farm because we all on the plantation. The next stage, one want to think like Massa, one want to say, hell with that. See? We think trying to learn about Africa, learn about our ways. We don't want to adopt to American culture. We don't want to adopt to their culture. We want to try to find our own culture. And then next stage, integration, separation. Integration, segregation. See? And now this step right here is actual separation. See, they want to stay here, and we actually time now to leave. That's why it says the messenger of the covenant. See, they don't want to talk about that in Malachi. It said the messenger of the covenant. Who's talking the covenant? Farrakhan ain't talking the covenant. The only one talking the covenant is myself. Preachers ain't talking the covenant. Silas ain't talking the covenant. It says the messenger of the covenant. See, that's the one that will come. That's the one who will take us home. The one that break the 7 seals. You understand? The messenger of the covenant says he will come. He'll come to clean up. He comes full of soap. So if you say Elijah was the messenger of the covenant, then what was he cleaning up? What was he cleaning? Farrakhan was cleaning up Farad's mess? Are you saying Farad made a mess? Elijah made to clean that up? No. He's coming to clean up Farrakhan's mess that he made of the Nation of Islam. That's why I call him Legion. Louis Eugene Grounds or NOI backwards, turning out NOI all the way backwards. You can't make that up, bro and sis. That's what he said his name is. But now you want to say, well, my last name wasn't Grounds, it was Walcott. But the rest of it's right there. No, it was Grounds, but I'm not going to argue about that. He's a demon. In fact, I don't have to go through all that with him. Like I said, the fact this follows the devil, say less. Say less. There's Farrakhan. That's where he's leading you. See? Devil's looking on, leading you to the abyss. See? We're leading you to the abyss. See? We're leading you. See? This gravitational vortex sucking you in. See? Because they're going, if you can't escape this, you can't make it hereafter. You have to be able to escape this. That shows you have the mental capability, right, and the spiritual capability, right, to move into the next reality. Because if you can't escape this reality, you can't move to the next one. Because you're always going to be, just like the story about Lot's wife. She couldn't separate herself from the people of Sodom. So she kept looking back, and it destroyed her, turned into a pillar of salt, bitter, and destroyed her. Because you have to take a clean break. Because the new reality won't be nothing like this. See? But if you're caught in their gravitational vortex, their Christianity, their economic system, their political, all this bullshit, democracy, Christianity, all this stuff, your mind's stuck in that, then you're going to go down with it. Because those are pressure waves that come from their mind that are weak. But but they gave form to this reality we're in. They gave form to it. See, and that's the form. But we go into new reality. And if you can't break free of this one, you can't get to the next one. If you can't get to the first floor, you can't get to the second floor. You can't be on both floors at the same time. See, so if you're caught in this gravitational vortex in their mind, see, if you're caught in their mind, their philosophy, right, then you can't get to the next because you think this is great. You're stuck in it. You got your mortgage, you got all this stuff. See, we won't have none of that stuff in the hereafter. None of it. See? But this reality came out of their weak mind. It's a reflection of their weak mind. But if your mind is not powerful enough to overcome their weak mind, you can't make it hereafter. You can't make it. You're caught in that gravitational vortex. See, Farrakhan's going, he's a demon. He's caught and he's trying to drag you into it too. Sucking you right on in. And you got to escape it. And money, you can't escape it. But that's okay. Like the brother talking about culling, that's an effect of that. Because the weak ones are going to be caught up, so we don't want you. Because all you're going to do is drag us down. You're going to be a drag once you get there. Kind of argue with you all the time. Man, we want democracy. We want to vote. Well, then you stay here and vote all you want to. There ain't going to be no vote. You say you believe in Jesus, right? But you hate dictators. But you love Jesus, but you hate dictators. What the hell do you think Jesus is? According to the Bible, according to your Bible, he's a dictator. He tells you what to do or you go to hell. You burn your ass up and ever. Jesus love. Where's the love in that? Where's the love and burn your ass up if you don't do what I tell you to do? You got, and not just do it, but you got to do it happily, 100%. Right? No question. No sign of resistance. Any sign of resistance, you burn your hell ass up ever and ever and ever. Where's the love in that? Sounds like a sadistic maniac. See, that ain't the Jesus I'm talking about. That's not the one I know. That's the one you've been teaching everybody about. But you say he's love. See? That's you, brothers and sisters. And he's a dictator, but you hate dictators. Or he's a dictator. We're going to kill all the dictators. And he's the biggest dictator of all, according to you. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I think that's pretty much it. See, we're going back home, brothers and sisters, and see, we're going to have Hajj. Won't be any pressure anymore because we have harmony. There's Hajj of harmony. Our people coming together in harmony. They've been in conflict too long. Artificial conflict caused by the devils. See, and the demons. The demons are causing the conflict in our community. If you remember the story by Elijah Mama told you about in Arabia when they was allowed to come back in Arabia after Yaqub had finished the process of bringing them to existence, they caused all kinds of confusion. So they had to gather them up and take them out of there. See? But so we're not going to gather them up and take them out of here. We're just going to get ourselves away from them. Because they're the demons. If you look at a checkerboard, take a checkerboard, right? You got like, say it's white and black or red and black squares, right? Okay, in between each black squares there's a red one. See? So it's a red one, then a black one, a red and a black one. See? So the red ones, those are demons. They're keeping the black separated. That's what they do. They don't want to keep a division, a constant, and all the stuff between us. See? Talking up, all the stuff they're doing. They're the ones causing confusion, keeping us divided. That's why it had to be separated. That's why we had to take a separate harvest, separate them out. One separate out, we have peace among ourselves, because we're not like them. We're not killers, we're not murderers, we're not thieves. Now, we may do those things out of necessity for survival, but that don't make you a thief. That just make you try and survive. But if you do it when you don't need to do it, then you're a thief. When you're killing, you don't need to do it, you're a killer, you're a murderer. Just like what they did. It said the devils go forth to kill, steal, and destroy. Isn't that what they did? They didn't steal this country. Didn't they kill all his people? Didn't they bring us over and destroy us? I mean, this stuff is simple, brothers and sisters. It's not, see, but the point is the demons will make sure it keep complicated. Oh man, you can't listen to that stuff. Racism. We need peace, man. Or we need to work with a white man. See? We just stay here. This country belongs to us. No, I don't want this country. It's a piece of shit. They're turning it into a piece of shit. They're telling you they don't have no topsoil anymore. That's why they got to get. That's why they're telling you food shortage, because they're going to be able to grow food because they can't get fertilizer from Russia. That means why you need fertilizer? You got good topsoil. Fertilizer is topsoil. So why they got to get it? America's so rich. Why they got to get it from other places? Because they destroyed the land. They stripped the land like they did in Europe. They turned Europe into, for 1,000 years. They had it, and they turned it into a shithole. So if they so good people, so wise people, so industrious people, how come they didn't make Europe a shining light on the hill? How can they turn into a shithole that everybody was trying to escape? They weren't taking a vacation from Europe. They were trying to get the hell away from it. That's why they came over here and took everybody else's stuff. Predators. They were escaping that shithole they had made. And in the process, they turned the whole world into a shithole. And that's why we put sand, cover Arabia with sand, because that's our promised land, so to protect it from them turning it to shithole. What the hell we want to inherit a shithole for? That place is rich. The topsoil is so thick you can imagine. This place is, I'm going to give you 6 days. What? You're gonna be starved to death because where you gonna get the food from? Where you gonna get the fertilizer from? Where you gonna grow? You can't grow anything anyway. You don't know how. Cause ain't he preparing you for that? This place is about to be burned up because it's worthless. They've ripped it off. They've raped it. They raped the land and everything else. He said, I want 6 states. I want 1 state or whatever. And you buying this stuff. So you're gonna be deprogrammed, brothers and sisters, whether you like it or not. Then you're gonna have a choice to make. Whether you want to leave here or you want to stay here. See? Some of you have to go to the scenic route because you can wake up so late. That's what it says in Daniel. It said those in the Lamb's Book of Life that woke up in time, they was delivered. And then the rest of them, they didn't wake up. They were still sleeping in the dust. Then they awake. Then they had to go to tribulation. It's your choice, brothers and sisters. Your choice. But you won't like going to tribulation. You won't like going to that. I guarantee you that. And some of you won't make it through. And then some of you that make it through, we won't accept you anyway. See? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Remember, abomination of desolation. We see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. That's about to happen. That's what's going to trigger the war in Europe. Not this Ukraine, I can't remember that. Ukraine and Russia thing, that's just a war and rumors of war. The war is about to break out in the Middle East. We see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. That's the desolation. That's the abomination of desolation, right? When they're about to be destroyed. And when they destroy, all hell break loose. Because now the whole reason for their existence is to trick you into thinking that they're the true seed of Abraham. So you don't realize who you are. See, that's the whole reason. But now what they're going, then that means you have to be, and then they're going to have to wipe you out. See, because at that point, the 9 plagues are kicked in. And I'm going to talk about that again. Like I said, I kind of didn't do it like I wanted to last time. I'm going to talk about it again, right? Those 9 plays kick in, and they're catching hell, and they're gonna realize you the reason, because God's coming to tear their ass up. Because that's what it said. Those last 9 plays, the whole purpose of them, right, is to force them to let you leave, go, and they don't want to do it. Because if you do it, they'll go back to like they were before. The old banjo, hey honey, what you gonna cook tonight? You know that banjo shit, right? See, because that creativity music, that came from us. You see that music coming out of, are you buying any music coming out of Germany? Are you buying any music come out of, you might buy it come out of England because they're in the same boat we are pretty much. But you buy music coming out of France, right? Are you buying anything that come out of those places, really? See? All innovations, everything come from here. And so once we go, that the truth will be exposed. Once we leave here, the truth will be exposed. Because we the gold and silver that they talk about. It's not talking about metals. We the gold and silver, right, that plundered America once we took. It says once you had the gold and silver, that they'd be plundered. Egypt would be plundered. We the gold and silver. It's not talking about money. It's talking about metals. And once they live, to be plundered means now they, and that's we the goose that laid the golden egg. Once we leave here, right, then they reveal that we was the source of innovation. We was the source of it. That they're hiding from you. They don't want everybody to know. That's be so, and then God got a clear shot at their ass then. See, because He don't want to hit them while we're here. But if you, but he can hold back forever. He's gonna short circuit your programming and give you a choice. But if you want to stay here, that's say, come out and hurt my people. But if you're gonna stay here, then you're gonna get the full blast. You get the full hailstorm, the full shitstorm. You're gonna get it all if you stick here with Massa. And some of you have Massa so tight, the winter's over. But you're embracing the winter people. We're trying to throw your ass out, but you grabbing the icicles, the winter people, the snowman, you grabbing them, they're females and everything, they're ice cold, you grabbing them, and so we can't throw your ass out. So you hold on. See? We're not worried about you, because if that's your choice, then that means you're too weak-minded to make it out of the gravitational vortex, out of this world. That means that's the whole purpose of it. That's one of the reasons why it was arranged to be here like this. That's one of the reasons that a lot of things I don't talk about, but that's one of the reasons why we're here, right? Because the only way you're going to get out here, see, the only way you can get out here is you got to be right. The only way you get out the furnace, you got to be right. The only way you can get out here is that you have to be certified by Suleiman. You have to be in his land book of life. You have certified that you're pure gold, and then to get you a ticket for the Master Muhammad to take you out of here. See, because we don't want no blind elephants. We don't want no impurities. That's one of the reasons you put you right here in this furnace, right? So if you don't meet the grade, then you stick around. You get a second choice, and when after we pull out the furnace, we look at some and say, "Oh man, they're almost pure. They're not ready yet." So we stick them back in. That's the tribulation, and see if that'll purify you. But it's hot. It's gonna be hot. It takes a lot more heat to heat up the silver than it does the gold. It's gonna be really hot. You think it's hot now? It's gonna be really hot. No food, no clothing, bad weather, and you got people constantly attacking you and everything else for a year. See, that's what you're gonna have to go through. If you miss this, if you miss this flight, right? You miss this flight out, then you have to take the next flight, and that's a year later. So it's up to you, brothers and sisters. That's your choice. That's your choice. Hope you understand. I think that's it, brothers and sisters. Yeah, that's it. Okay, brothers and sisters. Let me look into our audio, brothers and sisters. Okay. This is the Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Black Alert out. And to you brothers and sisters, video brothers and sisters, thanks for listening. Suleiman Rahim, Master of the Covenant, Breaker of Seven Seals. Assalamu alaikum.